It's time for another episode of And That's Why I'm Still Single. These stories just keep coming. A friend of mine said to me, I'm beginning to worry about how many of these there are. Well, let me answer that question for you. How many men are there? Lord have mercy. I've been through an awful passel of them. And if it ain't one thing, it's something else. So this episode is going to be about square dancing Bob. I cannot make this stuff up. If a friend of yours comes to you and tells you that they have somebody that they want to fix you up with, the first thing you need to do is run! Run! Lord, he says, I have this friend that would be just perfect for you. On what planet? Because I fell for this hook, line, and sinker. I'm telling you this so you don't make the same mistake. He starts out with me and my wife. We belong to a square dancing club. Now, back in the day, my husband and I, we used to do a lot of country western dancing, but we never did any square dancing. But I always thought it might be fun. But he says, yeah, we do these, we go to these square dance club things, and we go to different places, put on events and things. And he says, there's a fella in our square dance club that he doesn't have a partner. And he says, I was thinking that you might make a good partner for him, because I've heard you talk about how you and your husband used to go dancing and stuff. And he says, I think that the two of you would just make a good pair. And he says, would you mind if I gave him your number and had him get in touch with you? And like an idiot, I said, oh, okay, yeah, sounds like fun. So, feller calls me up, his name's Bob. And Bob says, hey, there's going to be a club meeting thing where we're all going to be doing some square dancing. He says, I know that you don't know how. He says, so you really won't be taking part in it. He says, but I thought you might like to go and scope it out, check it out and see what you think. We go to dinner before, and he says, I think it might be fun. And would you like to go? And I said, well, yeah, it sounds like fun. So I gave him my address and everything so he could pick me up. I put on a pretty dress and did my makeup and my hair and all. And we went out and we had dinner before this meeting thing, and he's a little rough around the edges, but I wasn't going to hold that against him. Not everybody is going to be, I'm not looking, I'm not looking at all now, but back then I wasn't looking for anybody, super refined, but, can you chew with your mouth closed? Just, just little things like that. Can you carry on a conversation, which was something he couldn't do. And we go on to this square dance thing. Now, the people at the square dance club were really nice people. I really enjoyed their company. They were a lot of fun, laughing and joking around, telling stories and stuff. They were my kind of people. But Bob, not so much. Well, the evening was over, and he took me home, and he says, hey, there's some other event thing going on. He says, would you like to go to that? And I said, well, yeah, you give me the date and the time, give me all the particulars about it. Well, he didn't give me all the particulars about it, because it turned out that what it was an anniversary party for one of the members of the square dance group. And so now I'm trying to dress accordingly for the last thing that I went to, because I was a little overdressed. They're wearing jeans, and country western shirts and stuff, and I'm sitting there in a dress. So I decided, well, okay, for this, I'll dress down a little bit, another event. So I put on my blue jeans, put on a nice blouse. Thank God I went that far. And, and we'll go to this event, and all these people are all dressed up to the T. And I'm wearing jeans. I could have died 1,000 deaths. Well, too late now, we're there. So I'm trying to explain to the host and hostess why I'm not dressed up because he did not tell me. Now, this was not a 100% square dance event. They had a DJ and he's playing country songs, and they was doing line dances, stuff that I'm involved in, or what had been. And so I got up, was doing some line dances with some of them. I never danced with another fella. So they play a waltz. Now the waltz is really special to me, and he did not know this, and I can't blame him for that. But what he did, I do blame him for, because they play a waltz. Well, that was mine and my husband's thing. We were waltzers. He gets up, and I'm thinking, okay, he's going to ask me to dance. No, he dances with not one, not two, not three, but 4 different gals at this dance with the waltz, and never danced with me one time at all, ever, the entire evening. Evening's over, it's quiet ride home. But one of the members of the club had said, hey, there's going to be a lesson thing going on next week. Would you like to come to that? Because I think, you're fitting into the group really well, and I think that you probably do pretty well at the square dancing. I know you don't know a whole lot about it, but hey, we can teach you. I said, yeah, I think that would be fun. So I show up at this. He doesn't know I'm coming, but I just show up at this. Well, of course, the first thing they do is they pair me off with him as a partner. And if I didn't think he was rough before, he proved it to me that evening, because they start doing the square dance things, and I'm kind of following along with what everybody else is doing, and I'm not real good at it, but I'm not extremely hateful at it either. But all of a sudden, they made some kind of move where the couples, each couple would kind of go in a circle around each other kind of thing, and he grabbed me up. Now, I'm a good-sized girl, okay? I'm not some little rag doll, but big old Bob picks me up and swirls me around. Nobody else is doing this, okay? He just grabs me up, swirls me around, knocked the breath out of me. I don't know what he thought he was doing, and neither did anybody else. They're all standing there with like deer in the headlights on, what are you doing? Well, of course, that embarrassed me, and it didn't embarrass him a bit. I didn't know what to say. Nobody knew what to say to me. It was one of those most embarrassing moments ever. I don't know if he was trying to run me off, but he did a good job of it, because that's why I'm still single.